And I'm sorry to have to say that. I know you don't care. But it's like you're moral, but it's twisted. You think like it's moral what you believe in. And, well, we're going to break for 1 minute, coming back in overdrive at prisonplanet.tv and infowars.com. But I think this has been an illustration for people about the enemy we face. Doug Stanhope, you are the enemy. You are my enemy. I just want you to know that. We'll be right back with the enemy. Stay with us. Cyrus Jones.
Cyrus Jones from 1810 to 1913 made his great-grandchildren believe you could live to 103.
And 103 is forever when you're just a little kid.
Forever when you're just a little kid.
Well, Cyrus Jones lived forever.
So, Cyrus Jones.
And we see our whole society going into the gutter, the collapse of civilization. Great liberty brings decadence and then society's fall. And Doug Stanhope, I mean, you say, I mean, I can see your worldview, and you believe it's moral at some point. It's almost twisted. Well, it's more than twisted. And I guess you could see my worldview, I guess, is twisted from my perspective, because I think I'm doing good, and I guess you think you're doing good.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we're both just, what's another word for peeing into the wind? I think we're probably both wasting a lot of time where we should be enjoying our girlfriends or your children and taking days at the beach. I think if you took that kind of passion that you have and the intelligence that you have and you just had one focus, let's change just one thing, you might do.
I am trying to change one thing. I'm trying to get people to have faith again and to clean ourselves up. And I'm not on some high horse, myself included, and try to work together and have a positive attitude.
Well, yeah, but look. I mean, just look at the paperwork that you have here. And
this is just today.
Here,
let's get a document cam shot.
The economy here and FEMA camps there, and it's so difficult mentally to try to take what you say and move forward with any of it, because you go, there's too much. We're screwed. We're definitely screwed. We're powerless. I think if you took that passion and went, okay, let's legalize marijuana or do.
Well, I've done that. I mean, I do believe in drug decriminalization because I know they bring most of the drugs in as a pretext to control our lives. I mean, that's on record.
All right. Well, a lot of people.
Whatever the new order's for, I'm against it. It's real easy.
Right. So tell me about the last time you took a day off. It's No Fear Friday, ladies and gentlemen. Just one day. I want all Alex Jones listeners to.
Okay, I'm taking off. I'm taking off tomorrow.
All right.
And I'm going to take my kids swimming, get up, eat breakfast with them, go swimming, go hike around on the green belt, and look at bugs and stuff, and then I'll take them home and eat some lunch or something, and I might spend a few months to take them to a movie. I might look for some movie that isn't too destructive, maybe take them to a movie. And the next weekend I'm thinking about driving, out to East Texas to see family. I need to call them and see, because the kids like going out to the farm.
There is a point where you have to say, all right, there is joy in life. You have to, yes, there's all.
No, I'll drive through the checkpoints and the cops searching people's cars and the billboards, training people to spy on their neighbors, and then I'll get out to the woods and I'll feel that stillness and that quietness.
And then you'll say, hey, wait, I'm in Bohemian Grove. Damn it, I can't win.
Oh, man. Doug Stanhope. Doug Stanhope. I mean, what else is ticking you off? I
believe me, I am just as enraged as you are. When I fly every week. I have to go through security. I mutter. I watch all that. The pointlessness. I live by the border, so every time I drive to the airport, I got to stop by the Border Patrol. They have a 50-mile swath that is their domain, and I have to stop. And yes, it makes me angry, but at some point, you go, all right, wouldn't I be better off focusing all of my anger at one thing to try to change one thing rather than just the barrage of information, your head? I'd love to see the inside of your brain. It's going to be like a pinball machine of synapses firing and then another synapse stepping on that. And it's baffling.
No, I mean, once you study this stuff, you start understanding it, and then you later, a decade later, read a globalist white paper, and it's word for word what you'd already seen and thought, but then it's from their perspective in a bad way. I mean, they're for it, I'm against it.
I'm just saying.
Look, I know it's slave training to make people take their shoes off and not have water, and next go through a naked body scanner, and next the cops want to take your DNA, and next they want to x-ray women's breasts because they may have bombs.
Public schools are for is to train you to sit in one place for 8 hours and not talk back and sit at your desk and do your hump job and your turn the crank. Yeah, sure.
I don't like that.
Labor force. Well, we all can't be president. We all can't.
The world needs ditch diggers, too.
Exactly.
So,
how
would you like to drop my litter and mow my lawn? You know who that is?
Well, how the hell are we going to
It's Ted Knight.
How are we going to build things on the moon if someone's not out there welding?
Yeah, but Judge Smales is an idiot.
Judge Smales?
It's okay. It's a candy bar. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
Caddyshack.
Yeah, I knew it.
Cinderella story.
Yeah.
Pond, pool pond.
See? Alex Jones just smiled thinking about Caddyshack.
Hey, I've been told, well, you said at the time, but it's very popular on the internet, about that night the Iraq war had just started.
Yeah.
And I got in their face. You liked that story.
Oh, what, with you and me in Austin?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my favorite piece of video I've ever... It's the only thing I'll watch of myself. Alex is going to introduce me. He's down there with Kevin Booth, you might know as Yoko Hicks. He's down there, and I go, hey, do you want to introduce me? And Alex says, yeah, sure. I'm not a comedian, though. I don't know what to say. I go, say whatever you want. Alex goes on a 10-minute rant trying to cram every piece of knowledge he's ever learned in his entire career into a drunken late-night Friday audience. It's all the same from Pol Pot to Saddam Hussein. We prop these guys up, and he's just barraged, and half these people are drunk. Half the people know Alex, so they're clapping. They're into it. The other half...
There's some troops.
...are waiting for the jokes, and they're yelling, you're killing my buzz, and Alex almost gets into a fist fight with a drunk guy in the front row, and then as this comes to a crescendo of people are yelling at each other in the audience and fights are about to break out, he goes, all right, here's Doug Stanhope. I went up into this melee, and it was one of the most fun nights. I love chaos like that. That's what live shows are.
Well, what happened was I was criticizing the Iraq war, and they're like, shut up, commie. And so
some of them were for you, and some of them had no idea.
Oh, no, I mean, it was a minority of people, but they thought, like, they were butchering the Dixie Chicks at that point, and they thought I was going to shut up, and that it just because they went, I'll kick your butt, I was going to urinate down my leg. And so I meant it. I told those troops, I said, come on up here. You know, which I really meant it. But you notice they weren't in a Cobra gunship a mile away killing kids. At the point I said, come on up here, all three of you, I'm going to beat the hell out of you. And I meant it.
Oh, yeah.
And they may have got me, but I was going to try like hell to, I mean, I was ready. I mean, that was real. I wasn't just up.
Well, there were some people, because it was in a comedy club, that assumed you were a comedian. And so when there were no punchlines, they were going, well, this guy's not funny. At least not supposed to be funny. He's just up here talking to you for... If you want to see this, just Google search the Austin incident and Doug Stanhope or Alex Jones. And, yeah, it's out there all over the place.
Yeah, we're playing it right now. Don't fade it up. There may be some profanity from the crowd. Certainly not from me. I'm a white lily of decency.
Yeah, no, I was a bit... I actually came up on stage at one point, and I was profane, so, yeah, you might want to kill me.
Very evil. But seriously... Doug, I mean, maybe Iraq war was a good thing from the elite perspective. It killed over 1 million people.
It never affected my day. I was never at risk of going. I'm against all war.
And you're not having kids, so they can't get them.
Nope, no kids. I'm just going to drift off into the sunset, yelling and hopefully maybe make a difference in my own little tiny town of 6,000 people. But, yeah, I don't... I guess at one point I thought I would change the world doing stand-up comedy and yelling into a microphone. I spent 20 years just stomping on everything that stupid people find joy in. That's what I do for a living.
Why did you pick the town you're in?
It's kind of a hippie town. It's just a town I found. I had to get out of L.A.
Is it called Commie Town?
No, it's half hippie, half Minuteman. It's got a nice mix, keeps everyone in check. You know, you get people wearing, sidearms, walking into the grocery store with a 6-shooter on their hip. And
so it sounds like a Wild West.
But yeah, and you have the hippie element. It's a mining town. The mine went bust, so all the property values dropped in the 70s, and hippies, artists were buying houses for $2,500 and whatnot. So it's got a good eclectic mix.
What's the name of the town?
Bisbee, Arizona. Uh-oh.
I forgot to turn my phone off. Sorry.
It's a text from the Bilderberg group. You're pushing your luck, buddy. Stop texting me.
I think it's actually somebody with your friend Jesse Ventura. So
if you were one of the 6 major families that secretly control if you were born into one of those families, what would you do? What would you do different if you were born into the New World Order?
I would try to convince them to not be so predatory and see humanity as scum and trash because it's becoming a self-fulfilling prophecy.
All right.
And I would try to work from within to change things. But a lot of this is genetic, and so they've been intermarrying with predatory psychopaths and sociopath genetic types, and most of that is nature, not nurture, and so I probably wouldn't be able to do that.